What's up? How's it going? Good morning. Who's saying hi this morning? Beautiful day, a little bit cold, but it's early. Looks like it's going to warm up. Just doing a small bit of tidying up before I get started today. The shop's gotten a little out of control. What's up, Don? How are you doing, man? It's amazing how quick things get out of control in here. Part of it, it's a small space. The other part is just I'm not the best at cleaning up after myself. So luckily, YouTube is making me better about it because I don't know, it's an accountability thing, you know? Don't want to be the guy tripping over his own stuff while I'm working. So, but the plan for today is I've got a handful of trellis orders I got to get finished up. And then I've got a few prototypes I want to make. I do want to make some wall art today as well. We'll see how much time I actually end up getting out here. Made one really cool mountain scenery. I'll have to take you guys inside later today before I start that and show you guys. And then below that I found, I think it was at Hobby Lobby, some hooks that are made out of railroad spikes. And those I attach to the bottom. And then that we use it to hang all the dog leashes and harnesses and stuff on. So, but let me see if I can find my broom, do a quick sweep, and then get to work. Where did you find me, Don? Where on earth is my broom? There it is. It's over behind the lathe. Good morning. Turn on that air filter. Hope I don't get too much dust in my lungs. Have you seen my trellises, Don? I mean, I'm sure you see the one that's main picture. Morning. Just doing a quick cleanup before I get started. Make it where I can actually move around in here. Let's see. JDH, what's up? Oh, that sucks, dude. Can't, are you not, why wouldn't you be able to work for the rain and are you not inside? We had rain for the last 2-3 days. Bear with me, I'm just doing a little bit of quick cleanup before I get started. Gotta empty out my desk, not my desk collector, my shop vac. I could at least be running that on the shop saw. Kind of help with some of the little stuff so I don't have to kick as much of this up. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try to get some of this cleaned up. We did get some new pictures taken of those 3 new planters I made, the hanging basket, the hexagon fence planter, and then the kitchen window herb garden. Went and got some flowers and herbs yesterday and went ahead and got that all set up. You know, I said I was going to do one small shop improvement every day. I haven't been sticking to that, but I think today one of the goals is find a predetermined spot to hang all of these chargers from. For some reason though, it looks like my Makita doesn't have holes to mount it with. That's kind of lame. I'm pretty sure the DeWalt's do. Yeah, the DeWalt's have mounting brackets. I think the Ryobi does too. Makita, you got to step up your game. I'm tired of constantly moving that around. Yeah, I'm constantly fighting that battle of trying not to track a ton of it everywhere. So you just like set up in your driveway, or how are you setting up? Maybe you can build like a little shed out back or something for the moment. Part of the reason why I'm trying to do this morning is so I can avoid tracking some of this inside at least. Joseph, good morning. How are you? Just doing a little bit of light cleanup. Put a few tools away and doing quick sweeping. And then I'm going to get started here. I feel like if I don't do this at least every couple days, I'm wading through sawdust. I was telling JDH that I'm going to be doing a couple of the trellis orders for my standard design, which has done really well for me over the years. I think this year and the first year I made them, I've made probably about 100 of them. Sold anywhere from 45 to 50 bucks a piece. And then got a few new ideas kicking around my head I want to work on. One for a far more robust design, and then one that it's basically going to be my standard design, but I'm going to take and add. Okay, let me bring you guys closer. I'm sure you can't hear me clear over there. I didn't even know I had that. But one's going to be the double trellis design. We're going to take, the main one I make is a chevron pattern, just a bunch of triangles going up and down. People really like those, but I'm going to take and swap. I'll do that, and then I'm going to run them the opposite direction as well, and it should create a pretty sweet diamond pattern. I've kind of played with just laying a couple of the pieces across each other, and it looks pretty cool. So I think today we're going to try to knock some of those out. Try to clean up some of this scrap here. There's just so much of it. But that's the other thing I want to get to today. It's definitely a lower priority, but I a handful of the. Done some wall art in the past with some of this scrap. So I think that's going to be one of our goals for today. Actually open the Blue Bot. I'm notoriously horrible about taking stickers and stuff off of my tools. In fact, like my chop saw still has all of its stickers on it. Probably like 5 years old. The lathe still has a sticker on it. It's like, this is over 20 years old. Damn it, get old. Toolbox, same thing. But it's alright. Alright. Did pick up a little tripod the other day. So I can get a little better angles for you guys. I have to get myself out of a hole before I can start even thinking about doing anything different with the plan of attack for my workspace. I definitely understand that. I had been collecting silver for I think since 2016, and I sold a little bit off here and there, but about sometime last week, actually, I think it was, ended up selling off a sizable amount of it, almost all of it, just to pay off a bunch of credit card debt. I just can't stand being in debt anymore. We had racked up close to like $10,000 worth of credit card debt, and of that, it was spread out over about 10 cards, and keeping up on that was so stressful. We were missing payments, never going fully 30 days late, but we'd miss it, get the late fee. And with 10 cards, I was adding up to like an extra $300 a month. So we finally just decided no more. Sold a bunch of that silver and paid off at least half of it. So I'm still fighting to try to get caught up, but I'm in a much better position than I was. So, all right, guys, I think that's about as much as I'm going to do for cleanup. Got some room to work now anyway. Got all the scrap put away. There's my case for my mail gun. Drawer. Put that away for now. We'll be using it later, but for the moment. All right. And I gotta find my goggles. My goose! So when I'm making these trellises, I'm doing, can't quite get the camera angle quite right for you guys. And there we go. This table's not even a blade, desperately. You can see like chips and teeth, but luckily for the most part at this point I'm still only working with cedar really because it's what I can afford to do in volume. still cutting through it just fine at the moment anyway. But anyway, when I'm making these trellises, I am ripping 1-inch strips out of the thickets. Don't think I'm going to be able to leave it quite there. Let's see. The nice thing is, let's see here. Might be able to. I think I might actually move you up to the workbench. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll rip probably, I'm going to make at least 3 of the standard design, 1 of the new one, and then I have 1 that's going to incorporate a 2x4 frame instead of just using the thickets. So let's go ahead and rip up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. So we'll rip these up, and then we'll start cutting the parts to length, and then we'll nail it all together. Let's get started with that. I always try to pick my straighter of the 2 sides to start with. And turn off all the heaters. The shop just does not have enough power to run tools and heaters at the same time. Grab those other boards. I hate how wet this last batch of lumber I got was. These are definitely way wetter than I would like. Usually I have pretty good luck with getting it dried out, but this last time I went to Depot, or the last 2 times, everything they've had has been super green. So we're just gonna have to make do with what we got. Luckily, as you nail these together, they typically as they dry out, stay relatively straight. They don't tend to work too much once I got the project put together. Just beforehand to start with. Removing all my staples. Can't quite get that one. Suppose I can turn that off while I'm doing this. One thing I need to work on from a YouTube standpoint is when I'm doing the videos, especially the lives, having things kind of pre-prepared. I think if I eliminate, I don't want to eliminate the cutting from the videos just because if it's just assembly, I think people will get bored with it. And I feel like a lot of people tune in to learn. how I'm making it. So if I cut all of that out, it's gonna kind of make it hard. Cool. Got hot out here quick. So, all right. Let's get at it. Give me 1 second. My wife is calling. Hello.
Hey, are you busy?
Yeah. What's up?
I was hoping you didn't light a cigarette one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I said I don't want to do it myself, and I don't want to light my outlet.
Well, be careful, or just make the smoke. I love you. All right. Bye. All right. Sorry about that. I think we're gonna go with this. I'm just going to stack all these over on the chop saw for the moment. I'm going to put this in a separate stack because it only hit from like here down to about here. But I'll be able to cut some of the shorter pieces out of it. Because now, we've now went up against the bandsaw. I have a handful of those. Basically one from every ticket. So my wife is constantly teasing me that I buy tools and then never use them. So we're gonna got perfect tool for ripping a whole bunch of these strips. Got brand new feather boards that I've never even opened. So let's set these up and use those so I don't have to constantly be putting splinters in my fingers. Those are pretty sweet. These are Jessen brand. I've never used these before. We'll see if they're any good. Looks like they're designed where you can use them on like 8-inch stock or 8-quarter stock. Let's see here. The board slides up and down with mounting brackets. This knobs for fast height sitting on the board. I don't understand why it gave me a whole extra package of nuts and bolts. Because it seems like you just slide that in there, tighten it down. And it should stick in here. That is sweet. Except I'm not sure that's going to reach all the way for the last few cuts. Claims I can just travel of it. I think for now, though, I'm going to get the first few cuts and then we'll mess with it some more. One more of them not hanging out there. Save the instructions and go from there. How's it going? We'll save that. Toss all the plastic. Could recycle it, but yeah. And then clear out my T-slot. Does anybody watching have any good recommendations for a miter gauge? I watched a few videos on 731 Matt and watched this video on the Harbor Freight version because, like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of in a tight spot financially at the moment. Yeah. There we go. So let's set that to the full width first. 2x4. Remember to pick it. Don't need that. Just a hair further. Tighten that down. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. push that nice and tight up against there. Why do I feel like it's backwards? It's not. But it's been a long time since I've had a feather board to use. I think the only other ones I had were hand cut. Joseph, definitely no need to. Me and the wife are very blessed. We both have really well-paying jobs. I do this on the side, make extra money here. Ultimately, the goal is for this to become the full-time job, but in the meantime, I'm just building up as I can. So, for anyone watching, I always throw that up. I'm trying to always throw up the Venmo on there, but there's no pressure to donate. I'm just happy to hang out with some people, have a few buddies. I get lonely out here, and the wife doesn't like to come out here so nearly as much as I would like. She definitely does, but see, that can't be right. Okay. Here's the moment to show how out of practice I am with tools. Do I have this set up right? Is that running in the right direction? That seems like that's the direction where it like stops it. I feel like that needs to be, the angle needs to be facing that direction. So you push the board through, but then it won't let it come back. Am I totally off base with that? I feel like that is wrong. Let's see if I can switch that around. And it never worked again after Andrew took it apart the first time. It said something about how if I reverse the mounting plate, I can get further reach with it. Like this. Now, maybe like that. That's what they did. it's the same direction as it was. I need to have. I can do that. Still haven't landed the T-slide. I do not understand. Let's see here. Is this any different? No, it's the same, but it does have holes here and here. Oh, I think that other hardware is for like mounting it too. Fancy build for that. Aha, there we go. These back through here. George figured it out. There we go. Now I can get that one in strip. Sweet. Okay, pick up a second set of these so I can get pressure downward too. That'd be sweet. And I literally just have to push it through. These are essentially the knobs I want to put on the new phone stand that I want to make. I don't know if you've seen my crude version of a phone stand. What state am I in? I am in Colorado, and my name is Andrew. This is my crude phone stand, but I want to make one utilizing like a groove here with a few of these little knobs. So you tighten it down, you can adjust the angle of it. But that's a project for another day. Got to get the orders that I'm paid for already knocked out. And I do apologize if I don't see your comments right away. I did add a TV out here so I can see your comments, but I do still have to look a little bit closer. But that's quite all right. All right. We're going to lock that down. Well, actually, it says on the setup guide, have it positioned at least 2 inches from the blade. There we go. Right about. That's the first 2 from contact. We'll go right about there. We'll lock that down. Except, I wonder, the only problem with this might be doing so. Yeah, man. Fiddlesticks. Yeah, so I almost need to get a second set of this because to be able to run through and get all the way up there to cut that 1-inch strip, I'm going to need to be able to pull it back. I can essentially flip it back to what it was for the beginning cuts. Sorry, like I said, this is a brand new tool. I've never opened it, You guys just saw me open it for the first time. So I am just playing with it and figuring out how it works. But I definitely think a second, even a third one, so I can have one pressing down would be ideal. But I have a few other priorities shop wise that money has to go towards first. I almost pulled the trigger last night. I found one of the cordless Ryobi nail guns, and it came with battery and a charger on Marketplace. I offered the guy $75, and he was game. So I almost sprung for that, but I have a working nail gun. I do not have a dado stack, which you guys will see later today. I've got a plan for using a dado stack. I'm going to make one without it, but I've got a trellis design in my head that I want to get out. It's going to utilize cedar 2x4s rather than just pickets. The internal part will still be pickets, but the frame itself is going to be 2x4s. So, and basically I need to cut a dado through the center of that. Could use my router, but I don't think I have a 5/8 straight bit right now. Probably thinking about it would probably be cheaper than getting the new dado stack, but running a 6-foot long 2x4 through might also have to be its own. Oh, and the headache on the router. I wonder why they ship these with these backwards. I mean, I guess if you're using it on the fence up and down, it's the correct way, but to use it this direction, I have this backwards. Alright. Bring this up a little bit. Promise, I'm almost done playing with this. The wife will be shocked to see me using this. I've had this for probably over a year. I think I got it when I bought the bandsaw. I wanted it for doing resawing. The only bandsaw I've ever owned before this was one of the little itty bitty Ryobis, the benchtop models. And then went and got myself the 14-inch Rikon. Beautiful machine. Works well. All right, let's try this out. It's open the garage door though.
amazing. So we're going to go ahead, rip the other ones, and then we'll reset them up. Oh, a little thin. It's amazing the difference that makes. I can't believe I've had this the whole time and never used it. Definitely makes it a little bit more work to push it through, but significantly easier. Keep it straight. The one thing I hate about pickets is they're all different sizes. Ooh, not that much. There we go. You're getting so much better cuts with that. Well, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it.
how much straighter of a cut I'm getting out of these using this. That is an amazing tool. I'm definitely going to be buying more of these. I want to buy one to put facing down, put pressure down. I will say though, I don't know if I just have it adjusted too tight, but it is hard to push the sticks through it. So. All right, I got my first pass on all these. Let's adjust it in. Bring it in an inch. The really cool part, like I said, is it looks like it's set up where you can do eight-quarter material or 2-inch stock. You're not familiar with. I guess I'm going to start that play ready.
That is definitely going to elevate everything I make. Everything. That is phenomenal. I cannot get over how great that is. Making me question how I've gone this long without it. Well, not coming out. Woo. I think I definitely did have it adjusted too tight. Because the last two were a lot easier. But they still came out just as good as the others. And I had been contemplating trying to run these across the joint. Oh shit. Let's unplug the saw by the board. Turn that off. Oopsie. I only have ever once had that happen.
Yeah, so if you adjust it back just a little bit, it does work really well.
warped as I cut it. But the rest of these sticks have turned out beautifully straight. Bring it in one more time, and I think we're going to have to flip it around. I think I can get one more pass with it. There we go. Not quite. And there we go. A little bit of weight tension on that couple spots. That's mainly because I don't have the splitter behind it. I definitely will, Joseph. I've been thoroughly impressed with this thing. Getting there. So much easier. Look at that. Out of fence picking. Look at that. That's incredible. tell you, that's gonna make everything easier. Even like my miters, I know sometimes I cut them perfectly, but they still won't fit together because the board is just ever so slightly crooked. But this is gonna be a quality cut to the degree of like a gang saw or a straight line rip saw. I think the only thing I'll do different in the future is I'll rip all the tickets to one width to begin with, like buzz the edge, and then I won't have some that are in enough tighter and looser than the others. I think that was the final pass I can make with it face in that direction, so let's see. Yeah. But no, that is a game changer. This is incredible. I can't believe that I've had this setting in the shop for so long. Never even opened it. And it makes such a huge difference. Like I was saying, I don't know if you guys could hear me while the saw was running. But even the miters that I cut on these are going to be higher quality because it's just producing such a straight cut. I cannot get over it. It's incredible. It's cold though, so I'm ready to move the table saw. Or ready to close that garage door. Got it. But I think what I'm going to do is sometime later today, God, I keep making plans for myself. I have so much stuff that I would want to do. But later today, I think we're going to move the table saw forward about a foot. And that'll give me the room I need to be able to put the tickets through. I think the reason I have it set up the way I do right now is because the joiner has only about 6 to 8 feet of clearance behind it. But honestly, I'm not even really using the joiner at the moment. So, and now that I'm using this, I really need to. I'm telling you guys, this thing is incredible. One hell of a jig. So it's Jessam Tool Company, Paraline Featherboard, model number 04016. And I don't know how yet, but I will find a way to add this into the description so you guys can look it up. I'm 99% sure that I picked this up from Woodcraft. I'm sure you can order them online. I'm sure Walmart and Amazon probably carry them. I won't order from Amazon. Kind of a childish work thing. I work for Walmart, so I will not order from Amazon. But honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me because Walmart carries literally like almost every single thing that Amazon does. One of the funniest things is we have products on our site sold through Amazon and vice versa. If you look real closely at some of the listings on Walmart.com and on Amazon, you'll see that we sell each other's shit.
website. It seems to be fairly well constructed. The only thing I've ever seen with these that could be better is I've seen magnetic ones where you just put it on here, you turn it off, and it locks down to your cast iron table. So, let's see if I can get a good shot of it traveling through there for you guys.
That's not set right. The fingers are riding above it. Not over here. Contact. Yeah. There we go. We're in business. And it's it. No, damn it. Now turn it off and see what I'm doing wrong.
Trevor, what's up? How's it going, man? So, I gotta thank my wife for this. She was teasing me about how many tools I have out here that I've bought, never used. So I decided today I was gonna break out this Jessen feather board. I don't understand why these other ones are going above it. So that one bit. But this is helping me make straighter cuts. Like, I'm blown away. Normally when I rip these thickets, I struggle to get a straight line out of them. But these are cut beautifully. It's like using a straight line rip saw. I don't know if you know what that is, but basically feed the board in, and it's got a big chain, pulls it through, and cuts it perfectly straight board. I hear you. I just threw up the newer planters on Marketplace today. Went and got some flowers and staged them all up. So we'll see how that goes. Today I'm trying to crank out the trellis orders, and I've got a couple of chicken tables I got to build. There's a couple of prototypes of the trellises I want to make too. So I'm going to try to be out here all day long. But I'm going to get back at it. It's good to see you. And I've only got maybe about 10 more cuts to do, and then I'll be moving on to the next step. So I'll talk to you in just a second.
might just be that the material's too thin for this particular day. When it gets that close. But for those first handful of cuts, this thing works beautiful. Honestly, even though it's not working the same here, still gets a pretty beautiful cut out of it. You have a good one, Trevor. This is an extra wide one. That's the wide that I gotta adjust this back. That's too much. That's gonna be almost dangerous. There we go. That one's a little bit thicker. So I think that may be really all it is. All right. Reset this one last time. I don't think it's going to do me a whole lot of good because it's just not making contact anymore. But maybe. We'll see. Definitely got to pick out thicker pickets next time. We don't run into that. It's this board in particular is called. There we go. That's what it's at. And you can kind of see the bend right around there. Wherever that knot is. That one's too skinny. Add that to the pile of partials. Very little of that. Got two of those, but apparently that picket was way too skinny. We got 3 of those that no matter what I do, they're not gonna do what. Well, that was sweet. So if you notice, the stack actually stacks really well. Normally when I cut these, they're so bowed, I have a hard time even stacking it. But other than this one, the rest of these came out extremely straight. I don't know if you can see down that. But I am thoroughly impressed with that. Again, that's the Jetson Model 4016 featherboard. So, give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna go check in on my wife. She just had surgery yesterday. I want to make sure she's all right, and then I'll come back and we'll start cutting all these up. I think I got all these parts that I cut for a different style of trellis. I think we're going to go ahead and make at least one of those and try to use those up, so I don't want to waste them. These are not going to be long enough for this. We need to go all the way to the end. Those are actually cut with opposite miters. So, give me like 2 to 5 minutes and I'll be right back. I'm just going to leave the live running and just going to go make sure she's all right. Throw that in the chat. All right.
All right, I'm back. Thank you guys. Hey, Cheryl. What's going on? Um, so now I am going to pick out my legs, and I'm going to go ahead and nail together that one I was just showing you, and we'll go from there. So with the legs, I always try to pick the straightest pieces, which are going to be a little bit harder. I also try to, just because that featherboard works so well, I also try to pick ones that do not have a ton of knots in them, just so they're a little bit stronger. So this one, beautiful board. Oh, am I frozen? Oh, no, I'm facing the wrong way. There we go. Okay. But this one's a beautiful one. No knots, perfectly straight. We'll use that. We're going to use, that one's a good one. So for this design, we need 4 of these. And the other one I made was 6 foot. I think I'm going to make this one a little bit shorter just because that one was really hard to fit in the car. Got to get my truck running so I don't have to consider things like that. But there we go. That one's got a knot in it. That one too. That one's got a knot on the very end, but we can cut that off because, like I said, we're going to go a little bit shorter. So let's go ahead. Let's move this pile. I need more space. I don't want to move to the chop saw. Well, I'm doing 30 inches wide, which you're going to have to for this. I guess I can't do it on the chop saw anyway, so we're going to move this pile over to the chop saw. Or the table saw, rather. Set these right here for a quick moment. Good. Let's see if we can't stack these up. A few less. A little easier to carry. Sounds good, Cheryl. Oh, I got 7 likes already on this video. I want to see if I can get to 25. I don't know if I'll even have that many people tune in, but I think that's going to be the goal for this one. Try to get to 25. And where should I put this so it's safe? There we go. All right. So let's make this guy. We're gonna make him 5 foot by 30 inches. Actually, I'll make him the same length as I make the other one. So we'll make him 52. So first, let's go ahead and flush cut all of our ends. I'm gonna grab my goggles. One of these pencils that I got super sharp right now. I watched. I didn't end up going live last night because I decided to spend time with the wife and hang out with her, and we watched The Day After Tomorrow. I remember that movie was so cool when it came out. I thought it was amazing. But as I rewatched it last night, the CGI in that was not the greatest. But it was a great night. It was good to get to spend some quality time with her. If you don't know us, we literally are together 24/7, 365. I come out here by myself some, but we're always like at the same house, or even at work. We work in the same store. Um, we drive together. We do everything together. So, but a lot of times it's not quality time that we're spending together. So it was really nice to get to do that. Right on the money. Money. More scrap. Flush our factory edge. I think one small shop improvement I might make today is just literally drilling some holes on each side here, so I've got somewhere to stick my pencil. I'm not constantly losing it. Okay, that one. Okay. All right. The more I'm doing this, the more I'm starting to get dialed in on the precision and making sure everything's dead on. I wonder if the power out here can handle me running one of the heaters while using the chop saw. I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see. Hopefully we can do it. Tempted to see if I can't get permission from the landlord to put a ceiling mounted heater air conditioner, and I think I might crawl up and see how well that attic is insulated today. Did I flush through that one? Yes, I did. Maybe add some insulation, because I know it's been getting hot out here, and in wintertime it's freezing, and I've got to make it at least comfortable enough where I can stand to be out here. Frozen fingers and sweat dripping in your eyes is not a good combination with spinning saws. But I'm still part of the 10-finger club. to cut. See, it's going to be at least 2 at 30. I'm thinking I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go with the original design of that customer kind of last time. So let's see how much we can get out of some of these sticks that weren't quite wide enough all the way through. I don't like the edge on these stuff. That shows like a shitty line. That one's pretty good though. In fact, that one hit most of the way down. We're gonna go with this guy. He's far better shape. The other one we might just save and come down to something smaller. Not right there. Struggle busting. I'm also really excited because I'm doing a version of a craft show at the old store that I used to work at. Is having one for Children's Miracle Network. If you don't know, every year Walmart does a huge donation to Children's Hospital all over the country, and all the proceeds that we collect from each store go to the local store or the local hospital. So my old store is doing craft fair, so I'm just going to work my tail off trying to build as much as I possibly can. I think my real limitation is going to be how much material I can afford to purchase. I still get to make money off of that craft show. I'll probably make a donation off of it, but the $40 entrance fee for the booth goes directly to Children's Miracle Network, so that's pretty cool, and I'm excited for that. What's going on, Keith? How are you today, Keith? There's one. Oh, this is that one I just set aside. Like the edges. This one's not terrible. A little goofy. Feathery on the edge, but nothing you can't clean up. We're going to come down to here. Past a little bit of wing. So if you don't know, when you go to a lumber yard, this like kind of goof edge that you see here, that's called wane. Basically, just any part that didn't fit the specified dimension that they cut the board to, or if you think of that as the thickness factor. So basically, if you're using rough sawn lumber, they're still going to run it through the sawmill like this, and as you get towards the outside of the log, you might get a little bit where it wasn't the full thickness that they were ripping it to, even on rough sawn lumber. And then you also have that factor on stuff like pickets or dimensional lumber. You'll have that run the other direction too. It's crazy. So my wife had the surgery yesterday, and then my dad is going in to have his shoulder repaired today. So 2 days and 2 surgeries. 2 of them are trying to make me just a ball of stress, I guess. Alright, so we got all of our pieces cut out. Let's start nailing this together. Gonna go ahead and kick on the compressor for just a few minutes. I apologize. I swear one of these days I'm gonna learn to fill my tank before, but who knows? assembly. The fun part. But you know, the more I get back out here, I'm having fun with all of it. It's really been helping me. I deal with a lot of chronic pain, and coming out here, hanging out with you guys, seeing what I can do with my two hands. It's helped me with depression. It's helped me with my chronic pain. So overall, I am just thrilled to be back at it. Dang it, are you guys able to hear me at all? Keith, can you hear me? Is that any better now that the compressor's off? I hate to do this, but we're going to try out the mic again. I've been rolling without it. But mic check 1, 2. Is that any better? All right. Can you guys still hear me, or did I just mess it up? Is that better or worse? What didn't switch, Keith? Should be better now. Okay. Well, as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. We'll just roll without it. So, I ended up with my nails. All right. So, first thing I'm going to work on is nailing all these parts together. And then we'll nail those to the frames. So, I'm going to bring a pile of each a little closer to me. And see if I can remember how I nailed these together the first time. Let's see if we can get you a better view. Might be able to see what there. Not quite. There we go. Sweet. Alright, so I'll get some paper towel ready so I can wipe off the saw. For a while I was using some parchment paper, but I feel like it was just more getting in the way than it was actually helping the process. So we'll just wipe it off. Every once in a while I end up having to sand the spot down anyway. It gets like little rust spots. But I sand the top down and it gets buttery smooth again. I need to put a wax coating on it. Let's see. These go together like this. We got one. And this one fits on there like that. That's how it is together. I'm 90% sure. And maybe have this some sort of make sure. That should be right around 30. That is the way we have it. All right. Let's get going. Arabian that saw this last time, I did have a little bit of trouble with the way I was nailing these together. It's just kind of a funky angle. But let's see if we can do a little better today. I think we're going to pin them from a couple different directions. So, first we'll come in, get this side. Angled in. Yeah. And I think I'll come at it with this side as well. Pretty clean joint. One thing that's driving me absolutely nuts about building the thickness is different thickness of equipment. How to come up with a good system for how to deal with that. I'm still kind of struggle busting my way through some of these because of that. Yeah. Wow. That did not work. I think this is one of the hardest parts about being live. I feel like a moron when mess something up. You're like, do I have to let the whole world see this? Luckily at this point I'm so small time, there's like 4 of you watching. Hopefully one of these days, hundreds of thousands of people can see me like that. I have to quit fucking up. Shoot that high. Hopefully we don't hang out that way. Yeah, there we go. Let's come at it from this angle. And same thing, shoot high so we don't hang out. Motherfucker! That came through. I mean, I popped all the way through there. I'm not even nailing it. Like this. I went all the way through. Shot it through that point. Through there. It came out on that end. That was great. One more try. Third time's the charm, right? Man.
No killing yourself on that.
Apparently she still likes me a little bit and wants to keep me around. Might be because if they have the bills, but then she still wants to keep me around. Call it a win. Apparently she was still watching. last time though, I did not try to shoot them through this direction. There we go. Now we got it. It's just, I don't know. I might need to adjust the depth of the driving needs. If you look, that head is something so far in. It's just not correct. How do we know? Like that. Yeah, that head's that far in. And that one's that far in. So they're barely sticking in the other piece. So let's dial that back a little bit. And we'll try that. 4th time's the charm. God damn it. It might also be them trying not to make a bunch of holes, so I'm shooting through the same hole. So I might have to switch that up and not shoot the same hole. I promise I do somewhat know what I'm doing here. Not a complete moron at this point. See, that's still carried all the way through. I don't understand. Right down my back a little bit more. I do remember part of the struggle last time being finding that correct angle to shoot through that. That does seem to be better. I think I got the damn gun dialed in correctly. This one may end up being a practice piece. In fact, I'm just going to set this to the side. And we're going to go. All right. Is that how I did it? Yeah. Appreciate it, Keith. Thanks for bearing with me through my stupidity. It's weird though, since I got this nail gun, I haven't had to adjust it at all. It's been firing just fine. I wonder if that doesn't have something to do with the moisture content of this wood. This is a little bit wetter than I typically like to use. But it is basically all that people had at the moment. There we go. Oh yeah. Now we got a good joint. Alright. Next piece on there. I'm on gunshot. Not even because I shot myself, but I just don't want to keep fucking things up. Wasting the wood, blanks. So much better. So the first time I assembled these, I only shot 2 through this side. It still goes through a little bit. I really got to crank that ankle. I think it'll be okay though. Got some solid, nice tight joints. That time to bleed dry, so that'll be perfect. Somewhere good. Something. Can't remember how many of these I'm going to end up needing. I've slapped together 10 and then start doing the rest of the nailing, attaching them to the main frame. Let's see from there how many more we need. Ooh, this one actually, the thickness much good. I might need to just go through. Now we're talking. Just can't pair all the length thicknesses. That might be the only good way to go. What's going on there? Just about a little bit. That's the other reason I need to go ahead and use these pieces up, because if I don't, I'm gonna have just a bunch of little sticks or firewood. So basically, the reason I even have all these is because when I made this one, it was a custom order, and I showed the customer one other design, and she ended up liking it better than what she originally ordered. So we went with that for her trellis. She ended up being happy with them, and I liked them the way they turned out, but they weren't my favorite. But this one, we're going to go ahead and do like her original design. Let's see how it looks together. Now we're getting it. Just took a little playing around it. Set first. God damn it. Just did that one. On the wrong end. It's supposed to be 2 longer boards connected to the shorter one. What are you making today, Keith? Dinner! Got dinner in the house. Go to the bathroom for the. What are you talking about, Benner? Oh, for. You're ridiculous. Thought it'd be warmer out by now, and I'd be able to open up the garage door. At least turn the heater off. There we go. All right. Let's try this again. You missed it, Benner. I shot myself in the hand. Kind of. it drove the nail too far through the board, or I didn't have enough of an angle and came through and got my finger. I don't think it even made me bleed though, so it wasn't a huge deal. Alright. Just gotta set these up before where we're gonna use them for the assembly. And let's keep going. I think that is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna hand pair each one thickness wise as best as can. That's a good set. Got a little bit of variation there. Slightly thicker one over there. That's what she said. There we go. So Benner, sometime tonight I'm going to go ahead and draw up the design for your bat, get you to sign off on it, and then I'll go get that printed out and get it traced on there for her and get her to get that burned so we can get that shipped out to you. I'll have to give her at least yesterday to relax. You don't want me to wood burn it, trust me. You won't even be able to tell what the letters are. I'm kind of excited because I think later today we're going to run into town. I'll pick up a grinder so we can do those American flags I was telling you guys about. Have you ever tried any of those, Keith? I think I'm going to use Who's the Boss. I'm going to use his video as my point of reference. I don't know that I'm really going to put a spin on it, just because it's the American flag. I don't want to leave that for my interpretation. I want to be respectful. But I'm excited to do that. And I get a free tool. Well, not a free tool. I still got to pay for it, but I get to spend money on tools without the wife being mad about it. That's her idea. That's what you got to do, fellas. You got to convince your wife that it's her idea. You gotta come up with that project, but you need a new tool for it. And then have her be the one that really wants the project done. I'm just kidding. These are coming out so much better than the other ones better. Are you guys able to see this assembly pretty well, or? That's one thing on those basket planners. I'm going to have to. I kind of want to just run up through the planer, honestly, except for the top row. And then just make sure the top row all gets cut out of the same order. Just listed those today. I think they turned out amazing. We ended up planting some flowers on them last night. And got her garden going in the kitchen. Sorry my videos are so repetitive. I'm sure at times they get extremely boring. Side. There we go. Let's circle pair nicely. It's just a little detail like that if you haven't done this stuff in a long time, you forget about. But as you get back at it, you start dabbling in those little details. It just elevates everything to another level. I think it was your 3-tiered plant stand I watched this morning. Keith. That was a pretty cool one. I didn't get to watch Happy's version of it, but I enjoyed your half of the video anyway. The other thing I really like about this glue bot is it really does center that glue really well. And I feel like you can put just the right amount where you don't really have any squeeze out. I feel like you need to squeeze out. So honestly, I'm not really good at anything on the side here. It's the flattest surface of the job. Sure, I hold that better when I flip it. That joint's stable. But you don't even seem nervous on camera. Whenever I try to do a non-live video, Keith, I end up stammering and tripping over my words. I think the live helps me release from that. I'm just like, well, it's going to be what it's going to be. I did notice you've got 2 different channels. Why is that? Does that help both channels by doing that? I definitely don't have enough into the first channel to start a second one yet, even if that is the case. But I was just kind of curious why you had to. Are they different themes or? One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's do 4 more, and then we'll start attaching these to our frame. Perfect. Not perfect. Sweet. I cannot figure out that Discord. It's something I've never done. I was trying to play with it a little bit last night, but I couldn't really figure it out. I ended up popping into some like giant group chat thing. But I gotta find a way to assemble these a little quicker. I got the main one down to a science. We'll build the full jig for it. But this one, it's taking a little longer than I would like to assemble. Seven, 3 more. Use up these damn parts. There we go. Color on that. That looks like that came from the same book. wonder if I could fill 2 booths at that craft fair that I'm going to go to. It'd be cool to do the $80 donation and then have 2 booths worth of Chisnet. I just don't know financially what I can swing right now. Like I said, we're trying to pay off a bunch of debt. Even the money I've already been spending doing this is a bit of a stretch, but luckily I've got an amazing, understanding wife that has supported me throughout all this so far. Every once in a while you'll see an eyebrow raise. That's usually when I know to do a little self-reflection and wonder if I really need to be doing what I'm doing. Because she's questioning that it's probably something stupid. She's kind of my barometer in that sense. I don't think we're going to use that one. I don't know if you guys can see how both that is. That won't work. Let's find one more side for it. There we go. Alright. We're down to 2 more after the. I lost track. Can't count to 10. Definitely gonna have to make a depot run now. I'm down to 7 or 8 pickets, but I think I should be able to bang out all my orders, all my prototypes of what I've got left. But I want to do a couple more planner designs. Wanted to do some of the tapered, taller ones. And I wanted to do some where I paint the legs black. And do stain on the pickets themselves. Just to make that color pop. Maybe even do some with white. Like a white wash. Yeah. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And then we'll start popping this frame together. These 2 are almost spot on. And not much very well with that one. Right. We're only on one goofy one. It's mismatched widths. Did that 3 times fast. Mismatch it. And the other thing I gotta do is I gotta come up with a cheaper version of the Trellis. Because a lot of people reply to the ad. You don't want to spend $50 to $75 on these, which is understandable. I wouldn't, but I'm not about making ones that I've sold so many of either. So I gotta come up with something I can send to those people. There we go. All right, folks. Brown, upside down. How cheap. Anyway, I do want to check overall width of these. Give me 1 second. I'm not sure who this is. Hello? Hello?
Hello? My server reaching out to go here. Isn't showing up on the 5-year search.
Dude, fuck off. I really hope you fucking die. Ugh. I cannot stand. I've been getting these phone calls from some company. These did not come out quite so pretty. Once they were nailed and everything. I'm sure each one's going to be slightly different. But I am going to trim this piece so that my side rails that I'm nailing these to. Then I have to flex them to make them fit. God damn it. And I got to take this off out now again. Maybe I can just slide it down and not fall off. I don't need a lot of room. There we go. That'll work. Kill him. Oh. Dude, it's because this scam company has been calling me. And they basically say, oh, your business is not appearing on the 10 most crucial search whatever. And I swear to you, I have gotten at least 100 calls in the last 2 weeks from these people. They call from literally 3 different numbers. Apparently a 4th starting today. But they just call and call and call. And no matter how much you ask them to quit calling you, they don't. I blocked their number, and as soon as I block one number, they start calling from another one. And I don't know how to get rid of them. So I lost my temper a little bit. Sorry, but to go ahead, glue and nail my 4 corners. And I'm going to do this a little differently than I did last time, because last time I did it even spacing and the center joints hung over a little bit. Instead, this time I'm going to line it up based off of where that joint lands, have it centered over each piece. Got to get that other bench top cleared off so I can use it as a assembly bench. I'm too old to be crawling around on the floor like this. So I don't do step carpentry anymore. I'm tired of running miles of baseboard, crawling around on the floor all day. Here to this end. And when you're putting these together, if you just pop one screw in each corner, then you can grab your square, check it before you add to the center pieces in here. Over the square. There we go. What I have to do for these actually, now I can understand why those came out that I did last time. These make you wider. I got 9 grips and wider strips for this. We're going to go with the outer edge of our point of alignment, right where the smaller piece here meets. Zoom. We're going to go ahead and line this straight back. And then blue. As we get each piece, just kind of pull everything in the square and then start popping the second nail in once we know everything is just right where we want it. But, there we go. Great. This way. Just go nice and square. here, 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 and here. I believe the way I should have lined up this time, I need to have glue through almost the entire that joint, which is good because that'll give that extra strength. Part of the reason why I didn't like the way those first ones turned out. Just didn't have enough bite on that joint. This side. Here. That. That. Now let's come to this end, attach this end where we want it. And from there, then we'll start tacking on all the rest of these. There. Sending order. I would say if I close it, what it looks like, it's going to be a little bit different than the other ones I made. Because distance between this and this is not going to be the same as this and this. I do want to grab my tape real quick and just check one thing. This we're running 8 that looks like it doesn't even. I don't think we can tell that one stood up. Let's tap that one. So, for some reason, these take off. I'm definitely going to need to make some sort of jig. Help me nail all these together in a quick, fast manner. Maybe even one for nailing those. I would honestly probably save more time to overall jig. It's pretty easy to build jigs for these. You basically build the jig around the finished one. And then after that, I just need a copy. After that, just that copy. Square. Power Red Rock and Roll game. Should be able to knock out the rest of this pretty quick. I do need to come up with a space for this stuff. So it's kind of like on here. See how far we want to go. And this could be the top, this could be the bottom, or we flip it. Let's do that. However we decide to put the legs on. We need a Y. Again, friends a little bit forward. And we'll actually do the other. That's kind of cool. Actually, kind of like this design. That's what I hated on it. I hated it so much I came up with another design that customers wanted instead of what they ordered. I still was willing to make this one for it, but I sent her pictures and I was like, hey, I was just playing around with the shop, working on your Trellis. And I just took some plans and basically that one was kind of a pattern like that. And I was basically running like that without all these things. And she decided she wanted that instead of this design. But honestly, I like this better. I want that one to start down there. Just a little wider. Out like that. I think I might nail this one. Let's see. As much as I don't want to, let's do some math. Okay, so we're 45 and 3/8. And we're gonna have, I think it's right at one. Yeah, then that's one. 45 and 3/8 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 45, 37, 3/8 divided by, oh, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 37 3/8 divided by 9. Still my phone for a second. Oh, it's the heater behind. Like 375 plus, let's say. Sorry guys, 2 seconds. Look at this spacing nicely. 45 degrees. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 37 3/8. And we're dividing that by 9. so 4 and 11 70 seconds. What's 70 seconds? I've never heard of 70 seconds. I've heard of 64s. That's the fraction that I think you guys have a aerial view of it. So let's ask AI what 70 seconds closest fraction is. I lost you guys. Sorry. So we're gonna go with 4 and an 8 for our spacer. So I have to find myself really wide, like almost a whole ticket. I think I threw some in here today. There we go. We'll cut this down for you. That would be helpful. But you know, honestly, when I used to do trim carpentry, 90% of the stuff I could do in my head because I was doing it daily. But I'm just out of practice with it all. So we'll get back there. We'll get back to the point where I can just bust out the nearest fraction in my head. Yeah, if these start selling well, this is definitely going to be a jig. Just to eliminate all this guesswork.
rungs laid out, so I don't have to lean as far. I can just. Both sides didn't actually get nails. Just that side of the nail. This side. That's one thing I really got to get better at is watching that little window to make sure I'm not overshooting. The reason I do the sides first is because if you don't do that first and get those flush, you have no means of adjusting those once you have that second one in place. It's far more noticeable if you're sticking out on the side than it is. It's a little one way to left or right on the center. Still don't like these as much as my other ones, but it is looking a lot better. That's killing me. After I finish this one, I'm run to the store, get some groceries, hopefully swing by Depot, pick up 10 to 15 more tickets if I can swing it. Really want to get potatoes back today, but I have to be responsible and not blow money on that right now. So I'm just gonna reset potato sauce 1,000 times. I think the Trellis will do really well with the extra thickness on the frame. They'll definitely last more years. Although I've never had anyone, I've had one person complain about one of these. And honestly, after
send me the pictures. I didn't feel nearly as bad because when I looked at it, she tried to install it in a rock bed, like up against her fence, and she tried hammering the stakes into a rock bed. And I was like, well, there's why it broke. Like, you broke it, that's why. But I'm gonna go ahead and take care of her and bring her a new one anyway. Just because it's not a common thing that happens. 2 or 3 years rather, it's happened to me one other time. Or just that one time, so. And she bought, I want to say like 4 or 5 of them this year. So I think she wants to buy more. She did until she broke that one. So I think as long as I take care of her, she can end up. She said she wants to get another 5. So it's another $250. I throw in one for free, basically. I think it's worth it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm being too nice? Or do you think that's the right thing to do? Almost there, guys. I am liking this one more than the other one, but not as much as my original. That one is bomb.com. Bomb.com. So, Keith, when you have your phone set up to not allow calls that from numbers you don't know, does that allow numbers you don't know to at least leave you a message? Because I don't get a lot of business from word of mouth, but I'm getting more and more. I don't want to lose out on that for the sake of not being annoyed by the telemarketers, scam artists. Mo. I hate how like just towards the end of these you really start to get in a rhythm and then you're done. Like man, I could nail on another 20 of those.
Sylvie and Hyback shared a reel. I'm not sure what reel she shared, but we shall see.
What's up, baby?
No,
I don't know. I don't have a pack with me. Maybe the car.
you open the garage that you out there?
Give me 2 quick seconds. I'm almost done with this one. I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. And go run to the store and get some groceries and stuff.
Maybe eventually, do up my things so that I can do my thing.
What thing?
The flags.
I've been waiting to do that. We don't have the tool. We need to go buy a tool before it's even worth doing that. So,
Well,
if you want to do that today, we can do that.
Well, yes, I'll go ahead and go ahead and car.
I just wanted to finish doing that. You have no patience, love.
Okay.
Hey, love you too. You like the way this one's looking? That was the I know her. You tell what she actually does. Those are the things that I know her to do. So, the bottom one does end up a little bit wider because you wanted that measurement to be like 16ths. I suppose I could have cut it at like 9.4 and 3/16, but not quite. That would have come out a little better, but I think it'll be fine. A little bit of difference on the bottom isn't going to make much difference. Especially because after a little while, you're going to have plants growing all over this. So. Alright guys, last one. I don't even know if it's still watching. Anyone make it to the final assembly? We shall find out shortly. I wonder. Simple. we're done. Yeah, anyone still with me? Yeah, 4 of you guys still watching. All right. Here's the finished piece. You guys can help me decide. Should that be this orientation, or should it be oriented? That's the way I do all the other trellises. I have all the slants running down. I don't know. What do you guys think? I definitely like it more than the first one I made with those pieces. Unfortunately, I still have more of those to use up. So. I might have to try that then, Keith. I don't know. Which direction do you guys like more, though? That's what I'm really curious. You like it that way? Or we'll call this option 1. Or do we like option 2? What do you guys think? Rick James! I'm telling you, I cannot make it through a single time seeing your name without hearing Dave Chappelle go off in my head. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off for now. I will definitely be back. We got probably one more to do like this. And then we're going to get into the chevrons, try to do some basic ones, and then we're going to do that double chevron running opposite direction, double diamond sort of thing. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Have a good day, Joseph. Thank you.